Welcome to Scrum Masters Elite _UK. Learn how to turn pressure into motivation and grow every day. Sign up now.
I think that in elite sports, especially in an iconic team like the All Blacks, the pressure is always immense. Every player who dons the legendary black jersey understands that they are not only representing themselves but also an entire sporting culture. So when the new coach delivered the message that he has no loyalty to any current player, I sensed that it was not cold or harsh, but rather a statement about fairness and transparency. From my perspective, a coach openly stating that the team will be selected based on current performance serves as a clear reminder. In sports, as in life, the past does not guarantee the future. Reputation, achievements, or prior experience are all worthy of respect, but if you want to remain at the top, you must continually prove your value. I was particularly struck by how Du'Plessis Kirifi responded to this message. He showed no anxiety or objection. On the contrary, he said that what mattered most to him right now was simply performing well for his team, week after week.
To me, this attitude reflects a very mature mindset. Rather than worrying about who will be chosen for the team, he focuses on doing his job to the best of his ability each day. Reflecting on this, I realized that it's also a major lesson for my own life. Often, we get too caught up in the end result, whether we will be recognized, whether we will reach the desired position. But in reality, the only thing we truly control is our effort in the present. I think that if everyone could maintain a mindset like Kirifi's, focusing on improving themselves day by day, then no matter the final outcome, we are still progressing. Another point that made me think deeply is the philosophy of putting people first, which many of Dave Rennie's former players have mentioned. According to analyst and former All Blacks player James Parsons, Rennie is the type of coach who always prioritizes people. Hearing this, I felt that this is a core element of sustainable success in any organization. In sports, people often talk about tactics, fitness, or skills, but sometimes the deciding factor is the environment and culture of the team.
If a team has a positive environment where players respect each other and feel cared for, they are more willing to give their all. This is not only true for rugby but also for businesses, schools, and any community. I agree with Kirifi's thought that when you care for people, they in turn care for that environment. This creates a positive cycle. Respect builds trust, trust builds responsibility, and responsibility helps the collective thrive. Thinking further, I realized that this philosophy aligns perfectly with the culture of the All Blacks, a team renowned not just for its achievements but also for the cultural values it has nurtured across generations. I've heard that in All Blacks culture, no one is bigger than the team. Even the biggest stars must maintain humility and a spirit of service to the collective. That's why a new coach asserting that he has no special favoritism for any individual can be seen as a way to protect the core value. From my personal viewpoint, this is a powerful message. The All Blacks jersey does not belong to any single individual, it belongs to those most deserving at the present moment.
This can create immense pressure for players, but at the same time, it generates strong motivation. When every position must be earned through performance, the whole team maintains a high level of competition. And it is precisely this healthy competition that often makes strong teams even stronger. I also think this approach gives the team a fresh start. When Dave Rennie emphasizes that 9 years working abroad means he is no longer emotionally tied to any current player, it implies that he can view the squad more objectively. I believe that objectivity is crucial in building a national team. When a coach evaluates players based on performance and tactical fit rather than reputation, opportunities open up for new talent. This also gives hope to younger players. They know that if they put in effort and perform well, the door to the national team remains open. As a sports observer, I see this as a positive sign. Because in any sport, innovation and competition are necessary to sustain long-term strength.
The first lesson I draw is never to rest on past success. No matter what you have achieved, the world keeps changing and demands continuous growth. The second lesson is to focus on what you can control. Kirifi cannot control the coach's decisions, but he can control how he performs each week. In life, it's the same. We cannot control every circumstance, but we can always control our attitude and effort. The third lesson I recognize is that people and environment are decisive factors. A strong team relies not only on talent but also on how its members treat each other. The most important lesson for me is humility. In a team with the rich tradition of the All Blacks, no one can take their position for granted. Everyone must continually prove their worth through action. I think this spirit is something sports fans worldwide can reflect upon. Because often we look at athletes and only see the glory on the field. But behind that lies a process of continuous effort, discipline, competition, and relentless self-improvement.
I believe that it is precisely these values that make sports special. It is not just a contest of physical ability or skill, but a grand school teaching persistence, teamwork, and personal responsibility. Looking to the future of the All Blacks under Dave Rennie, I feel a sense of curiosity and anticipation. A new era always brings challenges, but also opens new opportunities. What strikes me most is the mindset the players are demonstrating. They do not argue about selection policies, they do not complain about competition. They simply focus on becoming the best version of themselves. To me, that is the purest spirit of sport. If each of us could carry a piece of that spirit into our own lives, working hard, respecting the collective, and striving for progress, then not only sports but society as a whole would be a better place.
Be like Kirifi, strive every day, stay humble, and respect the team. See you at Scrum Masters Elite _UK.